Hello Thomas, it's Robert from Igneous Rock Gallery, and I hope you're enjoying the candle holder and your wife is enjoying the candle holder you bought at Christmas time. And I just remembered this evening when I came across a piece of paper with your name on it, a note from the conversation we had back then. You had some interest possibly in a fountain. This is just something I created tonight with the new material we got recently. I like this grouping a lot. I like the motion, the twisty pieces. I started off with this tallest one, and it's got some twist and interest to it, and so I played off of that and found other pieces that weren't straight. And they're all kind of flaying out or splaying out, I'm not sure what the word is, in an interesting way. And it's also got a lot of coloration. So that's one grouping. Here's a little more straightforward. This is straighter pieces, but there's a lot of good contrast and coloration in this grouping. I might move the shortest guy in the lower right there around a little bit. And it's been playing tonight with all these different groupings. Some of these pieces you can see are two columns that are fused together, and one of them broke off at a different elevation than another. So I've got that going on in this grouping, several of those pieces. I don't know what your application is, but here's a very tall grouping that's got some interesting motion in these pieces as well. This guy's got quite a lot of sway to him. And this is one that looks good from 360 degrees. Nice tall pieces. There's three of them. There's another grouping of 5 with some relatively tall pieces. The grouping to the right over there is sold. Here's an interesting grouping. The 3 right in the center of this frame. The tallest one has an awful lot of proud contrast, bright coloration. This will end up being cut flat and polished on the top. I think all 3 pieces will end up being cut and polished. A couple pieces I started fooling with, I haven't gotten too far yet. There. And this is another one of these pieces that's 2 that are fused together, never separated completely. That's not a finished grouping that I'm pleased with, but it's a start. But this behind here is, I think, pretty much ready. It's 5 pieces. Pretty cool grouping. And here's a grouping of 3. It's a little bit cluttered in the background. That's the nature of our workshop here. We're on the workshop side. The showroom is a little bit nicer, but the big piece that has a lot of coloration. There's three pieces here. And they're also probably good candidates for the flat polished top or polished top with a little bit of rounding off. Here's a little bit different presentation. It's more asymmetrical. It's got these natural tops that allow the water to fall one direction down the rock, so it'll be a combination wet-dry look. Alright, over here is a grouping of 5 in the foreground here. It's a nice little grouping. I think that tallest column is about 40 inches or so. Here's one that's sold. I sold this evening. In the foreground here there are 6 pieces. I realize it's probably hard to tell when you're not standing in front of it with all these pieces in the background what the grouping is, but this has been a long time in the works with this woman, and she finally came in and really likes this grouping. I don't know if you could tell the line of this guy on the outside kind of follows the line of the tallest one. We work real hard on the composition of these guys. It takes a while before we come up with a grouping we're pleased with. So that's, well no, here's one more. Here's a little short squat grouping. Lots of bold contrast. Then I'll take you over into the showroom side quick. Hopefully whet your appetite for a visit to the gallery sometime. Now it's so dark in here, apologize for that. But here's a grouping that's pretty cool. Sitting on the wall here. Here's a real tall pairing of two. Here are 4 columns, and it's awfully dark. It's so hard to see in here at nighttime like this. But that's a nice tall grouping. Here's one that's sold. It's kind of in the dark, and this triplet is sold. And here's one that's not sold. That's 5 columns, and these columns are pretty heavy. They've got a nice girth to them. There's a lot of this olive coloration in this grouping. And then here's one too that I made last week. I think this one's sold, but I don't have a deposit on it yet. They're slender pieces. And again, it's kind of dark here, but a landscape architect in Philadelphia expressed interest in a grouping like this, and she has first right of refusal on this grouping, and it's not much to see as dark as it is. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of our world here at Igneous Rock Gallery, and I spent quite a bit of time fooling around with creating groupings tonight. Came across your name and contact information and all. I thought I'd post this on YouTube and send it to you. Alright, take care. Look forward to hearing from you, hopefully.